Hello to all you poker players out there, and welcome back to the nerdy and nitty gritty side of poker, where I try to play 100,000 hands on Limit Omaha 25 in the fast forward games. The progress is going slow. I'm not getting a lot of hands in on that limit. I have been playing some PLO 50 and PLO 100 and been winning in those games, but they do not belong to this channel, but games are super soft at the moment, so I kind of have to take a little bit of advantage of that. But yesterday I did play 586 hands. Won $130. Should only been winning 41. Running very good. Having an average all-in equity of 59.76, which is very, very good. But just to illustrate one single hand about how people play these days. As you know, I always try and only play these 100 big blind stacks. This is what I'm using this YouTube channel and these 100,000 hands to specialize in 100 big blinds and really know 100 big blinds back and forth, because as soon as you get to more than 150 and over 200 dynamics and ranges starts to change a lot. But there's someone over here on the button that opens up with a totally reasonable hand, ace 9 8 6 double suited, and this guy in the small blind falls a little bit in love with the double suited jacks, king king jack jack, king jack jack, 3 double suited. I sit here with single suited ace ace king 9, and I obviously go ahead and four bet, cold 4 bet. This guy, I'm not sure if he should go in here when I'm so aces heavy. I don't really think so, but nevertheless, it can never be totally bad to go get it in with ace 9 8 6 double suited, and king jack jack 3 double suited is just terrible. And here we see how well I run, because my hand holds up, so that's nice. But apart from that, there hasn't been a lot of hands that I have found worthy reviewing for today and the channel. But I saw a post on another poker forum where there was a guy who has been playing some pot limit Omaha in exactly these games, 25 fast forward, where he has been winning $500 over 3,237 hands. So winning 20 buy-ins in that amount of period with 63.69 big blinds per 100. So he put up some stats to ask for a little bit of help how stats should be, and he asked if one of the PLO bosses could come in and give a little bit of a hand here. Now, I'm not one of the bosses, but I can give a hand if people find it helpful. So with a PFR of 26.3, I will not show his stats, I will not show his name. Here I have it on another screen. He has a PFR of 26.3 overall, and a VPIP of 34.7, so that's a spread of 8.4, which is way too wide in my opinion. And then here, but that's all the hands. So if we only look at 20 PLO 25, then it's a PFR of 25 and a VPIP of 32.7. So it's a spread of 7.7, still way too big. And then here comes the crazy thing, a free bet of 15.3. Now over a sample of 3,237 hands, it can be card distribution that you just have got a bunch of good hands that you can free bet. So it doesn't really tell us a whole lot, but when I just glanced over this, it looked like a very aggressive game you were playing, and it's probably doomed get the teeth knocked in the long run. But what I can do is I can take this document from the Jane Anders Mastermind, from the Mastermind which Jane Anders has provided. It's a coaching site for Pod Limit Omaha strictly, and I can really recommend it. I can't say enough good things about it, but they have this document. It's starting to go out a little bit because the bucket tool as the solver they have developed is starting to take over for this kind of thing. But this is he actually told that it took a long time to develop this spreadsheet. They started in 2011 and kind of finished it in 2019. So yeah. So in No Limit Hold'em, we know this grid where we have this 13 by 13 grid. We can't really have that in Pod Limit Omaha, so we have like a 9 grid with all the unpaired hands and all the paired hands and all the double paired hands, and then in those grids we have the rainbow, the single suited and double suited, so that gives a 9 grid. And in each of these 9 grids we have some different categories. So the first grid we have 10 categories, and then the next grid we have 14 categories, and so on and so forth. What this document also tells us is how much we should open from the different positions. So if we take a look at it here, it's like under the gun we should overall be opening 18.6% of the time. And from that opening range we should actually 4-bet 17% of it and call with 54% and fold 29% if we face a free bet. In middle position, the hijack, we should open up a little bit more, 22.6%, and we can see that we should 4-bet versus a free bet 16% of that opening range. We should call with 54% and we should fold 30%. And that goes versus different positions, and if we're in position and out of position. So that was actually the out of position numbers I took here. In position we don't 4-bet so much, and the same over here, so I was a little fast here. In the cutoff we should be opening 30.7% of the time, and again in and out of position how much we should 4-bet and call and fold. On the button we should be opening 47.6% of the time, and again how much we should we will always be in position on the button, how much we should call or fold or 4-bet. In the small blind we should open it up 34.7% of the time, and again how much we should 4-bet and call and fold. So the interesting more interesting thing can be like here when there's one raiser, how much should we 3-bet. So for example, if you're in middle position, you're under the gun, of your range should be 3-betting and isolating that guy at 5.2% of the time. If you're on the button, for example, versus under the gun, you should only be 3-betting 3.5% of the time. But middle position versus gun, you should only call 5% of the time. But on the button, you should call a lot, 15.17%, 7% of the time, and so on and so forth. So there is a bunch of interesting stats here. We can see here, we can go in and find more detailed what kind of hands we should do what with in the different positions. Button versus cutoffs, an interesting spot. And when there is a caller, how shall we overcall? How shall we 3-bet and squeeze and stuff like that? So for example, if we are on the button and middle position raises and cutoff calls, how much should we squeeze and what kind of hands should we squeeze with? So it's a very interesting document, this one here. here in the small blind how much we should be squeezing versus cut off open and button call, for example. And yeah, so that was just my way to try and reach out and help a little bit with how these stats shall look like. But of course, there's a lot of work to be done there. But that was it for now. I wish you all the best of luck in life.